Hello everyone, I am Tacit, and today I'm going to be going over a money-making method in Oldschool Runescape that makes over $1 million per hour. Actually used to make over $2 million per hour about 6 months or so back, and it has steadily been going down a little bit, but due to Fossil Island, this item has become a lot more in demand, so I figured I'd show it to everyone. So, of course, with Fossil Island coming tomorrow, there is this Clockwork. Clockwork is an item a lot of people may not be aware of, but it's getting an additional purpose once Fossil Island comes out for some kind of hunting-related thing with birds. I think it's like some kind of birdhouse thing is what this thing is going to be used for, so there is a lot higher of a demand for this thing. If we actually go and check the page for the Clockwork itself right here, as you can see like small numbers here. We can see things like, come on, show up, like 239, stuff like that. On better days, it might sell like 1,000 or 2,000 or so. As you can see, this item was very, very scarcely traded over the last year or so. But if you look all the way over this monstrosity, which is today, it has gone up by like 100%. I believe more have been sold today than in like the entire year, so it has increased by a exponential rate. If it would show 14,359 is how many of them were sold today. As you can see, just by the size of the bar, that is quite an exponential increase, and this could continue. I'm not quite sure, but I figured I'd do the video kind of going over what you need to do to make these, because now is definitely the time to make these. So you need steel bars. That is for sure. You need 1 steel bar, and each steel bar gets converted into a Clockwork. You also need the following requirements: just simply 8 crafting and 25 construction, both of which are extremely low requirements. Even though I don't have it on this account due to its restrictions, it is also good to have 45 magic. The main reason for this is you can teleport to Camelot in a PvP world, which brings you right next to a bank, as well as right to your house, using the same staff, only using law runes. This would be a lot cheaper. I'm not able to do that, so I'm going to be using an alternative of using house teleport tabs and the Eternal Glory instead, and simply doing it to Edgeville. So, what exactly is the profit margin on these? Quite large at the moment. If we go and check the exchange from what we were just checking earlier, you can see that a single Clockwork sold for 1,506, which, if you look at the price of a steel bar, each steel bar gets converted into 1 Clockwork. That is over a 1,000 profit per each one that you end up crafting. And of course, I ended up buying some teleport tabs. You can easily buy laws, and it'll be a lot cheaper. And even if you combine the price of whatever you're using to teleport, it still comes to a very solid 1,000 profit each. So it's really simple to create these. Just teleport over to your house. Of course, you will need the workbench, which is the whole reason why you needed 25 construction in the first place. Then you just go over to this workbench and then hold down the 1 button. The reason you do this is because the Clockwork is the very first thing within the tab. Then you just keep clicking. You can just go do whatever else right now. You can just go at YouTube or do whatever else you may do while simultaneously doing this. You don't need to look at the screen just until you feel like you're getting low. I believe you do this for about a minute or so. You can do about 1,000 to 1,300 per hour, depending on how diligently you are clicking. But obviously, this is about the quickest speed that you can really do it at. One of the reasons why you use a Camelot teleport, or in my case, a Edgeville teleport off in a Glory, is mainly because if you try getting off of this bench after you've crafted all of them, it'll do a very weird glitch, but it'll basically make you move slower. So it's a lot quicker just to simply teleport from the sitting bench than it is to go walk to, like, let's say we mounted Eternal Glory right there, which is what I used to do before I actually had my own. But it's a lot quicker just using a standard teleport of some kind. I wouldn't really bother. You'd end up doing easily 100 or 200 less per hour if you were to constantly walk over to any kind of other teleport. As you can see, we are now done. Just use whatever your teleport method is, either a Camelot teleport in a PvP world, or an Edgeville like this, or whatever you're doing, mounted Glory, and then you just simply go over to the bank, put in all of your Clockworks, take out all the steel bars, and then just repeat over again. So let's go see if we can actually go and sell our Clockworks. I have no clue if they will or will not indeed sell. Based on the fact that over 15,000 have sold today, I would assume the answer is yes to them selling. This is from 1 hour of crafting Clockworks while just watching YouTube, so I was pretty chill while doing this, and we were able to easily clear over 1,000. Well, I guess you could add the 27 that we just did or subtract that, but I'll count them just in case, because you can easily do over 1,200. But let's just go sell them, see what they'll sell for, and let's go exchange, sell, and see if they actually will sell at the price from earlier. So earlier, we ended up seeing that they sold for, let's just double check, they sold for 1,506. What do they sell for now? Let's type it in, I guess 1,498. And see if they instant sell, and if not, they'll just sell over time. So let's sell all of these. That would, let's see, let's click it first. And currently, none do sell. That is a bit unfortunate. There is a way to double check this though. We have a solution. We can go, and this is one of the reasons why I, in the past, haven't done it as much back to back, but there is a solution. We shall go, buy one, see what the other person is selling it at, then do it underneath him. And we'll be good. So obviously that should definitely buy. We end up getting it at whatever that price is. So it does look like it's one of the slower sells. Let's see. It just ended up selling for 1,601. So that's good actually, because that means we now know we can sell it for more than what we just did earlier. So now we can type in something like a 1,598, which is 100 more each than what we were getting before. 1,598. And given that these are, oops, I did not type in the right number. That is not the right field of which I typed it into. So a 1,598. 1,598, boom. And there we go. And now we'll just let them sit there. And given that 15,000 were sold in this day, and now that we're undercutting the other person, they should sell within the next several hours. And if they don't, we can just simply lower it again, double check what the price is, and then repeat it. Regardless of how much these things crash, they're pretty much always going to be doing at least 500k per hour. But as the current rate, I would assume they would be able to stay somewhat steadily over 1 million. Again, a lot of people don't bother doing this, which is why I figured I'd make this video. Since it's now over like 100 times more in demand, at least at this current moment, it is definitely a good idea to consider doing some of them. It is also why I only end up doing it for an hour at a time, because as you can see, it does have a little bit of a slow selling process, because most people who need clockwork, they don't need like thousands upon thousands of clockwork. I believe the new method only ends up using 5 clockworks, and many of the other things that you craft will only end up needing a few of them. So they're a little bit of a slow sell. No person's going to come by and buy like 1,000 of them, obviously. It's one of the reasons why all these other days on that thing were showing as so few. But as you can see, they do sell at this price. It just takes a little bit of time compared to some items. It's not like a instant kind of sell kind of thing. But I figured I'd share all this to you guys. The fact that it exponentially increased so much was worth mentioning. So if this is helpful for any of you, feel free to leave a like. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will be doing more money-making methods in the future off of Oldschool Runescape. I figured I'd start doing a few more of these kind of videos. There are a lot of methods out there, and a lot of them I don't feel like are really covered. Like this one, I haven't seen a single video on. So anyways, hope this was helpful. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all later. Goodbye.